Imagine walking through a forest 300 million years ago. The air is warm and dense, and the plants around you look entirely unfamiliar. Suddenly, a dragonfly darts past, but instead of the small insect you are used to seeing today, this one has a wingspan nearly as wide as a human arm. This creature is Meganeura, one of the largest flying insects to ever exist. During the Carboniferous period, giant insects and invertebrates were surprisingly common. Millipedes could grow over 2 meters long, and sea scorpions rivaled the size of a person. To understand why these creatures grew so large, we have to look at how insects breathe. Unlike mammals, insects do not have lungs. Instead, they rely on a network of tiny tubes called tracheae that open directly to the outside air through small holes along their bodies. Oxygen travels through these tubes and diffuses directly into the insect's tissues. This passive breathing system works incredibly well for small creatures, but it has a physical limit. As an insect grows larger, its body volume increases much faster than the surface area of its respiratory tubes. In today's atmosphere, a giant insect simply could not pull in enough oxygen to survive. But the atmosphere of the Carboniferous period was fundamentally different from ours. Massive, global forests and swampy wetlands covered the planet, pumping unprecedented amounts of oxygen into the air. Today, oxygen makes up about 21% of our atmosphere. During the Carboniferous, that number skyrocketed to around 35%. This hyperoxygenated air changed everything for ancient life. With so much oxygen available, the gas could penetrate much deeper into an insect's respiratory tubes. This allowed insects to grow much larger before reaching the physical limits of their breathing systems. In a way, the rich atmosphere acted like an environmental superpower, fueling massive body sizes that are physically impossible in our modern world. However, oxygen levels were not the only factor driving this prehistoric gigantism. Evolutionary pressure and the lack of competition played a massive role as well. During the Carboniferous period, flying vertebrates like birds and bats did not exist yet. Aerial predators were virtually absent from the skies, leaving a massive ecological vacuum. This lack of competition allowed flying insects like Meganeura to dominate the skies as top aerial predators. Without nimble birds to hunt them or outcompete them for food, insects faced very few evolutionary downsides to growing larger and more powerful. But this era of giants could not last forever. Over millions of years, the Earth's climate began to shift, and the vast oxygen-producing swamps started to dry out. As the lush forests shrank, global oxygen levels began a long, steady decline toward modern percentages. At the same time, a new threat emerged in the skies. Early reptiles and eventually birds began to evolve and take flight. These new creatures were highly efficient predators, far more agile than the massive, heavy insects of the past. The changing world created a double challenge for the giant insects. They were starved of the high oxygen levels needed to power their massive bodies, and they suddenly became easy targets for fast, maneuverable new predators. To survive, insects had to adapt by shrinking. Over generations, smaller body sizes became an evolutionary advantage, allowing them to breathe efficiently in lower oxygen and hide from predators. Today, the giant insects of the Carboniferous are long gone, leaving behind only the fossils that give us a glimpse into a truly unique chapter of Earth's history.